All right. It looks like we are live. What is going on, Bree Hive? Welcome to another Thursday night stream. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit different than what we normally do on this case. On this channel. So I hope you guys like it. We're not covering any particular case today. We're just going to be bringing something that I like to do in my pastime over onto the YouTube channel. And of course, it is still law related, but we're going to be diving a little bit more into the family law side of things. If you don't know who I am Boss Attorney Bree, and here on this channel, we cover celebrity lawsuits, trademark lawsuits, copyright lawsuits, and really whatever the heck we feel like covering. And today we're doing whatever the heck we feel like covering. Like I said, I'm going to be bringing in some stuff that I like to do off camera onto the camera so that I can get your opinions on some of the things that I read or listen to on a daily basis. And for those of you who do not know what that is, it is Reddit. It's Reddit stories, legal related Reddit stories. Today we're going to be covering topics under family law. One time on this channel, we did do a Reddit and it kind of did pretty well, but we had some other cases behind it. So I'm going to see if you guys like it doing it this format. Like I said, this is something that I like to do off the camera. I watch it on TikTok. I make some on TikTok, so I'm going to be covering some of the stories that I have done on TikTok over the last week. So I want to see if YouTube likes it, if it's something that you guys would be interested in continuing. Thank you, everyone that has joined live. I had a pretty hectic day and got this posted like literally 15 minutes ago. So I definitely appreciate all of you that are popping in live. And if you're watching on the replay, I definitely appreciate you clicking on and watching. All right, so we're going to get started. We're going to get started with the live stream. Check out who's watching live, and then we're going to go ahead and get into some stories. And actually, I have one article. I couldn't find the actual case before the live stream. Like I said, hectic day, didn't have a lot of time to look into it, but I do have the article about it. So I think I'm going to take a peek at that to see if you guys have any opinions on this. Buffalo Wild Wing man filing yet another lawsuit against another company, and I believe it's another class action for a product not being what he expected. So we're going to look at that first, and then we're going to get into the case. Y'all, I tried to do digging on the papers in Brian Koberger's case, but they only give us like very little documentation. I guess there's a bunch of motions, but I want to see these documents, and maybe I just haven't had enough time to like read through them to see that they're actually talking about that there's no DNA that matches him. But yeah, it's just a lot of motions right now, not a lot of facts. And I think that they're going to file their facts, their alibi under seal from what I was looking at on some of those documents that's available on the Idaho County website regarding the case. So without further ado, I'm going to say hi to the peeps in the chat, and then we're going to get started. All right, we got Summer Butterfly, a member of the channel. Hello and welcome to the live stream. Saying good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. It's almost the weekend. What are you guys doing over the weekend? We got Stacy Ann saying hello. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Sophia J giving the hand or the waving pink hand. Hello, welcome into the live stream. We got Mary Malarkey, got a little wine. It says hello, Bree and Chad. I hope you are having a glass of wine for me too. And I hope to have a glass of wine when I get off the live stream. And then we have Z Seltzer giving us a waving hand. Hello and welcome to the live stream. So if you guys are on the Twitters. Oh, actually, if you guys have not already, please do hit the like button. It's a small group with us right now, so we need the help. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. Okay, and then what was I going to say? For those of you that are on the Twitters, I forgot who commented to me, but let me know that our friend, the Buffalo Wild Wing man, I don't know if that's the name he's going off of, but it's one of the cases that have made him the most famous here. He has another lawsuit. He had a lawsuit against the Kind granola bars. He had a lawsuit against Buffalo Wild Wings that we covered pretty deeply on this channel. And now he has a lawsuit against a blanket company. So we're going to go ahead and look at that case really quick here and see what is going on. And of course, Bree being in late fashion did not share the screen yet. So I'm going to do that right now as we speak. Feel free to drop in the chat any questions, comments, concerns, hellos, whatever you want to put into the, not whatever you want to put into the chat, but go ahead and drop not whatever. Okay. If you got something to say, put it in the chat. All right. So we got our Buffalo Wild Wing man is what I'm going to call him. Who sued over the boneless wings, is now suing Home Goods Company over a $20 blanket. I would really like to know what this man does for a living, what he does on a daily basis. Why does he have so much time and money to sue people? Sue companies, not even people, to sue companies. Let's see. Amin Hamlin, who sued Buffalo Wild Wings over the boneless wings, has filed another class action lawsuit. For whatever reason, I couldn't find it. I tried to look it up. Maybe I need to get the parties' names a little bit better, but I couldn't find it when I looked it up on the district courts. But he sued in another class action. Now Hamlin is suing Home Goods Company over a blanket that sells at Costco and Walmart for $20. So, I mean, I'm not surprised because he sued over like a 12-piece boneless chicken wing that was $14. So I don't know. I'm not too surprised. Hamlin and 4 other plaintiffs, so he has friends this time, accused Berkshire Blanket and Home Company of greenwashing. I don't know what greenwashing is. This is a complete live reaction. So let's go ahead and see what greenwashing is and why he's suing them over it. Okay. He struck again, this time suing Home Goods Company over a blanket. Amin Hamlin gained notoriety earlier this year when he filed a class action lawsuit against Buffalo Wild Wings, alleging the company's boneless wings are closer to chicken nuggets. That lawsuit came after Hamlin filed at least 3 other class action suits against companies he accused of using deceptive marketing practices. Okay, I didn't know he had that many lawsuits out. I knew of the Kind one. I knew of Buffalo Wild Wings, and they're saying he has a couple more before that. Now Hamlin and a handful of other plaintiffs, he has gotten some friends to join him in this, have made similar claims against Berkshire Blanket and Home Company, claiming that the companies misrepresented a plush blanket as more sustainable than it really is. Okay. You talk about the sustainability of a blanket, but you're at Buffalo Wild Wings eating chicken that's mass produced? Okay, whatever. Let's go on. If you have something to complain, he will find it for you. If you don't know what to complain about, go to this guy. He'll find something for you to complain about. These representations lead customers to believe the blanket is a green product that has less harmful impact on the environment because of its ingredients, manufacture, use, or disposal, the lawsuit says. Unfortunately for consumers, these representations by a defendant are false. They're not, it's not a greenwashing, pretending like it's of the earth. A spokesperson for Berkshire did not immediately respond to Insider's request for comment. The soft blanket, you know what? This is on Yahoo News. Let me see who tagged me in this. I completely forgot who tagged me in this. I said I was going to check it out, and here we are checking it out. Let's see. Lynn Davenport is who told me to check this out. And it's about greenwashing. Oh my gosh. $20 blanket. I just don't understand how he has so much time to sue. Like, this is Yahoo News. And what I was going to say is, in my opinion, some people pay to write their own articles. So I would not be surprised if this man wrote this article or had somebody write this article for him and said, hey, call me the Buffalo Wild Wing, the man that sued Buffalo Wild Wings, because that's what I'm famous on. Let me let me get a little bit of more limelight. That's what I feel like. This is all just speculation, not truth or anything like that. But that's my speculation about this article. I feel like it's him or someone he knows writing it. Okay. The soft blanket was previously branded as an eco-soft blanket. Yeah, okay. According to images in the lawsuit, aside from Berkshire's website, the blanket is available in a variety of sizes at Costco, Walmart, and Amazon. I wonder if I have this blanket because I literally shop at those three places at prices ranging from $20 to about $50. I'm going to try to look up the article. I probably should have tried to find the name, use the company's name instead of his name, but yeah, I don't have the actual lawsuit, so maybe we'll cover that next week. The branding of the blanket said it used half the water in the dyeing and manufacturing process. The lawsuit alleged accusing the company of greenwashing. How is that going to help you knowing how much water was used in dyeing the blanket? The blanket is still dyed. Although I'm not like super nature driven, so I guess I wouldn't understand, but I don't know. Let's go on. To tell you the truth, I don't think he's really that nature driven since he's having boneless wings at freaking Buffalo Wild Wings and wanting it to be actual wings. So yeah, here we go. This calls the question, half of what? It is unclear whether this represents half of the water of competitors, half the water it previously used, or some other half, Hamlin and other plaintiffs said in the lawsuit. Berkshire makes no attempt to substantiate its claim that the amount of water being used is somehow better for the environment. What made you think? I don't know. Oh, I guess because they're calling it an eco-soft blanket because they help the ecosystem by not using as much water, and then they want them to explain why not using as much water helped them. I don't know. I'm not following here. An expert previously said the lawsuits may be more annoying than effective. I would agree with that. Hamlin is one of 5 plaintiffs listed in the class action, which intends to represent all citizens of the United States who purchase a Berkshire's Life EcoSoft blanket. It further alleges that the contested amount of money exceeds $5 million. So if you got one of these blankets, you might be in for getting some money. There's some lawyers on TikTok that like covers the class action lawsuits, and I think that's so cool, but I don't have enough time to keep up with that. Attorneys for the 5 plaintiffs did not respond to insiders' request for comment. In order for the case to move forward, a judge will have to grant the case class action certification, which means the damages have to be substantial. Hamlin has prior experience suing companies, obviously, on allegations of deceptive marketing. He has sued over Tom. Okay, they're going to let us know all of them. Tom Wicked Fresh mouthwash. What is that? Have you guys ever heard of that? I've never heard of that. Let me know in the chat if you guys have heard of that. If you're watching on the replay, let me know if you ever heard of Tom's Wicked Fresh mouthwash. They've sued Kind Granola, and they've also sued Hefty Recycling Bags. I did not know about that one. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to do a deep dive on his freaking lawsuits at this point. What the heck? An attorney previously told Insider that his methods may be more annoying than effective. There's a thin line between consumer advocacy and just being annoying. Yeah. Attorney Bill Marler told Insider in March it raises the issue about what's the real purpose here. It may be some type of notoriety. He cannot be reached for comment. So we cannot talk to Mr. Buffalo Wild Wing Man / Blanket Man / Hefty Recycle Bag Man. What is going on? What is going on with this guy? Okay, so that was the blanket case. Now that I have the names of both parties, because like I said, Live Reaction did not read through the article before we got on here. Now that I have the actual names, I will try to find the case again because it sounds like he may not be the main plaintiff on this case, and that's why it probably did not pop up or did not stand out to me if it popped up. So yes, that is the blanket case. What do you guys think about it? Have you heard about it? Did you see me get tagged in this? Pretty cool. All right, let's see who is here. We got Pamela Caldwell. Hello from Indiana. Hello and welcome in. I have our chain. I cannot read that lettering, but hello, welcome in. Mary Malarkey says, I checked your Twitter. Buffalo Wild Wing link was shared to you from Lynn Davenport. Yes, thank you. I don't look at my comments as they come in, so I'm sorry for missing that, Mary. Let's see. Archangel? Is it Archangel? I think that's what it says. I saw this pop up in the chat. And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to say that word when it pops up. Like, I can say it in my head, but it's just not going to come out with my lips. My lips. Okay. Vexatious. Maybe that's it. Litigant. Some people want to sue the world. Others spend their life saving on the lottery. The lottery, hoping that these lawsuits win, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what he has going on, but he has a lot of time, and I'm really wondering, like, what's his age? Is he retired? Is he just rich so he doesn't have anything else to do? Sometimes I know they take the class action lawsuits kind of like on contingencies because most of them are going to get some type of settlement, if not win at trial. So I don't know if he's necessarily coming out of his pocket to do these lawsuits, but you got to have a lot of time to have all these different lawyers calling you, because a lot of the cases, I know the Buffalo Wild Wing case is still open. Now he has this other case. Pretty sure the Kind Granola one is still open. So you have to have a lot of time to talk to the attorneys. Larnard Amber, hello. Welcome back into the live stream saying, shoot, sorry I'm late. What up, Bree Hive? Hello. Welcome in. We are happy to have you here. It's okay if you're late. I was late, so it's all good. Z Selter, member of the channel, saying greenwashing is lying about being the product is environmentally friendly. Yes, exactly. Didn't know what it was at first, but thank you for the explanation in the chat. Get into it before I can get to it. Yeah, they're saying using less water is environmentally friendly, but our friend Hamlin says, well, what's half of what water? Half of your competitors, half of what you used before, half of what water? And is that even environmentally friendly? I don't know. Do you guys know in the chat? Leonard Amber says, put some DNA on that, please. DNA for what? DNA for what? Oh, the like button. I was like, wait a minute. Put DNA on the blanket. Okay, no. Put some DNA on the like button. Yes, if you have not already, please do hit the like button. Thumbs up to help us out in the algorithm. We're getting more friends. I was late posting, but that's okay. Happy that people made it in. Listen. Hello Slinky says, what the hell happened to the notification, YouTube? Rude. Anyway, hello, Bree Hive. Blame the two for my tardiness. It is okay. I literally posted the stream like 15 minutes before I went live because I had a pretty busy day yesterday and today. So it's not YouTube. We're not going to blame them today. Not today. We will not blame them. Or is it supposed to notify you as soon as I'm live? Because if that's the case, then we will blame them. But if it's not supposed to do that, then it's my fault because I posted it really late. But welcome in. Nice to have you here. Hello Swanky, a member and moderator of the channel. Let me see. Z Celsius says, Bree, I beg you, please don't do a deep dive into the BK case. So many people are doing it, and I just can't take more of it. I don't have the time to look at the documents. Like, I tried today. Maybe if I have more time, I could. I thought it would be interesting, but now I'm realizing I would have to go back so far, read all of these documents. Can't keep up with it because I got a regular job. I got a regular job I still got to do. So these fun cases, popping into that case every once in a while, we'll take a peek at it. But after today and trying to figure out what the motions were, what they were talking about, I'm like, no, criminal is not even my thing. So thank you for that, Z Seltzer. Lawner Amber says, right to Hello Swanky, the F. I'm telling you guys, I was late. Let's not blame LawTube today. Some of the butterflies saying hi to Pamela. Let's see. Hi, Law Nerd Amber. Mod, we behaved, so it's all good. Yes, of course. Let me see. Oh, Mary is not a mod. I'll have to, let me see if I can do that. We're going to have a whole whole chat full of moderators. Uh, all right. Doom. Gotcha, Mary Malarkey is now a moderator. Okay. Deacon Fatal says, I'm late to the party, 72 of 75 for the last grade, and I'm so freaking tired. Well, welcome to the Bree High party. And congratulations, 72 out of 75. I don't know what percentage that is, but it sounds like an A to me. So good job with that. We're happy to have you here. Mary and Deacon Fatal is also a moderator and member of the channel. Welcome in. Glad you were able to stop by despite being tired. Mary Malarkey says to Deacon Fatal, congrats, my youngest son just finished his final class too. He's majoring in tax accounting. May I ask what your major is? Good job on your son. Oh, that's so fun. I don't miss being in school, but good job to him. Congratulations to him. Is he graduating now or is he just done for the semester? Deacon Fatal says, no, I have not heard about this case. The blanket case. Yeah, our guy, he's back at it. Deacon Fatal letting Malarkey know that she's in criminal justice, getting the master's. Congrats. We love to see it. Deacon Fatal says, I'm actually trying to read this SCOTUS decision because it will have to do with my class this week. Yeah, I briefly saw something pop up on it on TikTok just recently, yesterday and today. I didn't realize it had gotten so far. So I haven't had a chance to look at that, and I probably should have looked at that, but Supreme Court stuff is just not my thing. But maybe look at it. I'll be late as always. Deacon Fatal says there's nothing wrong with that. Becky with the pink waving hand, hello, welcome into the live stream. And then Mary Malarkey is talking to Deacon Fatal. All right, so we are all through the chats. Welcome into everyone who is just now getting here. Like I said, I posted the link late. I posted the stream late in general. So I'm happy for all of you that have made it here. If you have not already, please do hit the like button. It does help us out in the algorithm, and we need all the help that we can get. Now on to the juiciness that we will be covering today on my channel on the Beehive. We are going to be talking family law stuff, but we're doing it like Reddit style. If you weren't here at the beginning, I let the chat know that in my pastime, when I'm not doing anything, what I like to do is watch TikTok. It's not a good hobby, but it is my hobby at this point. And a lot of the stories that I watch are Am I the A-hole? So on TikTok, I did start posting kind of like Am I the A-hole stories that I find on Reddit that I think are interesting, but that relate to the family law aspect of things because as many of you know, that's what I practice mostly in my day-to-day life. I also do like trademark law, but not so much anymore since I am now working for somebody else. So with that being said, we are going to be doing Am I the A-hole? And I would love to really hear your reaction. So try not to get too off topic, chat. Try not to get too off topic because I do want to hear your reactions on the stories. Last time I did one of these, you guys are very engaged. So I'm hoping that it goes that way again. All right. So let me go ahead and jump into our first one. Let me go ahead. I haven't done my little ticker in a while. So let me see. Am I the a-hole? This one is, am I the a-hole for not changing the dropping off my kids to my ex because my husband doesn't like it? Okay. For dropping off my kids to my ex. And y'all, I deal with this every day, so now you guys are about to deal with it. People, they divorce or break up or whatever it may be. They break up and then they have to co-parent. But also when you co-parent, sometimes you fall in love again and now you have a new husband or a new wife or a new partner or whoever it may be, right? And then you have to deal with their opinions on your custody schedule. So this story is kind of like, are you supposed to bend to your new husband if you have something that's already working with your ex? So let's go ahead and jump into it. Let me see what you guys think of it. Let me go ahead and make it a little bigger for you. All right. So am I the a-hole for not changing dropping off my kids to my ex because my husband doesn't like it? She goes on to say, I was in a previous marriage for 6 years and had 2 little girls. We separated when my youngest was a year old. She is now almost 5. So about 4 years when they separated. Ever since we separated, I've always picked up my kids and dropped them off to him. He's sort of wishy-washy in their life and only wants to see them once or twice a month, which is a pretty normal schedule if you're not a super involved parent. We used to live 5 minutes away from each other, so it didn't really bother me to take them over to him and pick them up. We have since moved 20 minutes away. It's not that far at all, so I've still been dropping them off and picking them up. My husband, who I recently married last year, so new hubby, last year, now has a problem with this and wants me to take him back to court and make him meet me halfway. But truthfully, I really don't want to go back to court over it because I don't mind it. So it just seems to me to be a waste, and he might ask for more time just to spite me. So more time to visit with the kids. He wouldn't give me any money for the kids when we first split and said I won't give you a dime until the court makes me. So he is going to be a complete jerk if I ask him to meet me halfway. And we've kept the peace this long, so I'm not looking to rock the boat. She goes on to say, my husband is now saying that I cater to him and obey him and kiss his butt, but I don't see it that way. He's now saying that I'm an a-hole to him because I'm not taking his feelings into consideration and that he has a right to voice his opinion. We've had this arrangement before my husband was in the picture, so I don't feel as if he should get an ultimate say over what I do and how I choose to co-parent. Am I the a-hole for not taking my ex back to court to change the drop-off schedule? I'm also not this part cracked me up. I'm also not still sleeping with my ex since he is married. That's why you're not sleeping with him, because he's married, okay? And because my husband goes along with me every time. I don't know if that's the best reason of not to be sleeping with your ex. Maybe you didn't mean it like that, but I just thought that sentence was funny. I think I'm the a-hole since I'm not taking my husband's feelings into account and changing my co-parenting in order to keep him happy and not feel so insecure. My question is, why does he feel insecure? Why the heck does he feel insecure about you dropping off your kids with him in the car? Like, why does he feel like you're being an a-hole for that? So let me go ahead and go over to the chat and see if you guys have let me know what you think on the story. Let me see if y'all on topic. That's the first thing. Dicky Beto says, okay, what is the new hubby worried about this time? That would be the question that I have. Like, why would you be insecure if you're in the car and it's a 20-minute drive? So you're going to take him back to court to try to get him to meet you halfway when you're the one that moved 20 minutes away. And that has never kind of been the status quo. Will the court probably order it? Probably, yes. Honestly, they probably would order that he meet you halfway. But imagine saying, okay, meet me halfway, and then he's late every time. And then you're waiting an extra hour instead of just driving the extra 10 minutes that you would have that you are driving rather than meeting him halfway. You just put a lot of different variables into play. Like, let's say, oh, we're supposed to meet at 5 o'clock, and then every time he meets you at 5:30, that's a problem. And my question is he going to pay for the lawyer, or does he want her to just do this alone? And it seems like the co-parenting is going pretty well to me from my perspective. Deacon Fatal says she is catering to her kids. As she should. This is not her husband situation. This is not her husband situation. Dad seems to be a little bit of a mess. So I think it makes sense. It's not like an hour or 2 hour drive. That's a different story. But 20 minutes, use that time to spend with your wife and talk to her and have fun with her in the car. Summer Butterfly says, not the new husband's kids, not any of his business. That can be true. I know that you want to make sure that your household is happy, but if they have something that's working and it's not a big deal, then he shouldn't really be complaining. MG Mustang 05, hello, welcome back into the live stream, saying new husband needs to stay the heck out of it. He's a control freak and she's heading down the same road. Yeah, like it makes him insecure. Like, is her ex-husband hot or something and he feels like he's uglier than him, so he doesn't like that she sees him on a regular basis? Like, I don't like, I can't understand why he would be insecure. It's not like she's going to drop the kids off by herself and then she's gone for 2 hours and comes back with her hair messed up. I don't know what the big deal is about just dropping the kids off. And what if she doesn't trust his driving? What if he's a crazy driver and she doesn't want the kids in the car with him? I don't know. A lot of things could be going on here. Z Seltzer says, about the not sleeping part sounds like an update in a reply comment. Yeah, probably. That probably is. People are like, are you hooking up with him? Deacon Fado says, this is why I don't have kids or date anyone with a kid. You see how messy this is. It gets messy. Like, you are not just having to get to know their kids. You are also having to get to know the other co-parents. And a lot of times the co-parenting relationship is not amicable. I think like amicable co-parenting relationships are like a brand new fad. Like, I don't even know if there are that many amicable split parents that are doing co-parenting well. Okay, because otherwise I wouldn't have any cases to work and I wouldn't have a job, right? So I see where you are going there. Mary Malarkey says, second spouse should always pause before weighing in on the co-parenting issue, especially when it's a non-issue. His wife is not complaining about this. They moved 20 minutes away. He chooses to get in the car with her. Wife is not even complaining about it. Husband is like, he needs to meet you halfway, so we only have to drive 20 minutes instead of 40 minutes in a day dropping them off. It's a waste. Deacon Fado says, that is manipulative AF. I would have to agree. Deacon Fado says it's 20 minutes. Literally a couple stoplights. Should the dad meet them? Maybe on normal basis, like maybe he drops them off to her. Maybe if they do that, not meet halfway. She drops him off, she drops him off to him. He drops him off to her. But then again, you're dealing with, okay, if he's late and you're waiting for him to come bring the kids back because you got to go get dinner and you're waiting on him and he's an hour late. I can see why she's just like, let me handle it. And then that way I'm not waiting on him to get his life together and bringing me my kids back at the wrong time. So I don't know where husband is coming from. Z Seltzer says, not the a-hole. New hubby sounds controlling. He doesn't even trust her to drop off the kids by herself. So now he is annoyed. He needs to be in the car for a 40-minute drive. Exactly. He doesn't have to be in the car. He's chosen to be there because he thinks his wife is going to sleep with her ex when she's dropping the kids off for a visitation. Like, what? Mary Malarkey says, I agree with the mom being hesitant about returning to court. Keep the court records to a minimum, especially if you're going to hire an attorney. Like, geez, like I feel like the husband doesn't have kids and he's never been through the process. I definitely understand what mom is saying to be stressed because, first of all, depending on where they are, if you are where I am in California, you file a motion, you're not even going to see the judge for almost 2 months. So you're still going to be doing the same thing. And then, like she said, he could just ask for more time and get a more standard schedule, like he gets them every other weekend. Right now, she's probably just free to be like, oh, yeah, the girls are available. Here you go. Or no, they're not available. They'll see you next month. So he could ask for a lot more than what he has right now. Let's see. Deacon Fado says, more than likely, she doesn't like the ex, and that is why he's an ex. Exactly. And she probably doesn't trust him, and that's why she's doing all the driving. That's what I would lean towards. Stacey Ann says, even if she meets her ex halfway, she will still see her ex. I don't know. That is absolutely correct, but the husband has a problem with driving the extra 10 minutes. I don't know why. There's no reasoning. Deacon Fado says, God, whatever one there is out there, please let me go through menopause for this. Yeah, I don't know. Kids are a tough topic. Deacon Fiddle says, and there is a lot left out of this statement. What is the co-parenting agreement? I don't know. Yeah, they didn't tell us what it is, but I'm gonna assume they agreed that she would do the drop-offs. And I would assume, and I think safely assume, that he's probably not the most responsible. He's wishy-washy with getting the girl. So imagine him telling you that he's gonna meet you at 5, and then you're sitting there at 5 waiting for him to come, and he's still at home when you could have just dropped him off at home and they would have already been with him. So I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. If he was like mistreating the children, sure, go back to court. But driving 20 minutes versus 10 and then having to wait on him, yeah, I wouldn't want to rock that boat. Deacon Fiddle says, I don't think so either. Mary Milwaukee says, wait, the second spouse and the mom are the ones who move further away. Yes. And generally, when you are the one that moves away, you bear the travel costs. But this is like a 20-minute situation, so it wouldn't be as extreme as if they moved like 4 hours away, then she would be responsible for it. But they're talking about 20 minutes here. Like, it shouldn't be a non-issue, to tell you the truth. There we go. I think we have one more chat coming in, and then we're going to move on to the next story. So thank you for all the comments, guys. I definitely appreciate it. Those were some pretty good insights, pretty good comments there. Summer Butterfly says he doesn't want her to go to her ex house because he doesn't trust her. But like my girl said, he's married, she's married. What is there not to trust? I mean, I guess if the new couple, her ex and his wife, are swingers, I don't know, maybe. But yeah, he just sounds like he's trying to control something. He can't say like, don't take them to him. So he's just like, oh, well, maybe he meets us, make him do something for once. That's what it feels like at this point. All right, let's see. I think this one is a good one. I didn't get to the comments on this one because I haven't been able to look through them, but I will try. All right, let's see. Let me change my ticky thingy. Change my ticky thingy. Come on. All right, so am I the a-hole for removing my ex from the co-parenting calendar? Revoking access. Here we go. All right. So this is the next one that we have here. Am I the a-hole for removing my ex from the co-parenting calendar? Hello. Like how he greets us. In the process of going through a divorce, working on establishing healthy boundaries with my ex while still supporting our 5-year-old son. We have a shared calendar that has all the appointments for our son, doctors, lessons, days off, etc. I had agreed to maintain this calendar as well as keep her informed through email of anything scheduled. A few days ago, she started posting extended visitation times, and I had explicitly told her we're not going to happen. So she just started making up her own schedule, not getting an agreement and putting it on the calendar. Is basically what's happening. The first time I just deleted the event and moved on. The second time she posted it every week for the foreseeable future. So I deleted the events and removed her access to the calendar entirely. Not you got kicked out the club. You can't even be on the calendar anymore. I verified I had sent her notifications for all the appointments already, and she knew she had access to everything that was in there if she wanted to build her own. Oh, I missed this in my story time. I did not know that he gave her the option to build her own. So that kind of changes my mind here. So he goes, am I the a-hole for removing her access to the calendar for spamming events that were not previously agreed to? He goes ahead and makes some edits and says, this is not a formal custody agreement. There's no formal custody agreement in place yet, just an informal one that includes the calendar. My lawyer is aware and it does not matter as long as I still communicate when I schedule appointments, which is being done via email. I'm not looking for input on visitation issues that has been discussed with my lawyer and is way too legal for this sub. Okay, so no actual custody agreement in place, But his ex is basically planning things that are probably not like important, but important to her maybe, and wanting to take her son on vacations when they did not agree on that time, which might even interfere with his time. It sounds to me like he is the primary parent. He's the one making the calendar. He's the one informing her of appointments. So she sounds like she might be a weekend mom, and she might be trying to make her custody a little bigger than what it is, and then disguising it as vacations. So what do you guys think about this one? Is he the a-hole from removing her from the calendar? I say kinda. I say kinda. I'm not a full yes or no, because I feel like he could have removed her access from adding things to the calendar and she can still see it. But I also understand he's the one doing all the work. If she wants to put stuff on the calendar, then she can make her own. The issue that I would see with that is that if she has her own calendar and she starts putting her vacations together and not telling you about it, then all of a sudden you guys have a problem because your calendars look different. So yeah, there's that situation. I probably would have just removed her access to add things to the calendar. Let me know what you guys think. Let me see. I'm going back into the chat. Deacon Fatal says, one thing I know about this one, the court only cares about the welfare of the kids. Yes, that is true. That is very true. For the previous one we did, C. Ty says, like what she gonna sleep with him while exchanging the girls like her own private extra exchange. That's what I was thinking. And the guys, this comment is for the previous story that we did. And this is how it says, hi, sorry late, was watching season gaming cast coup. Well, welcome to the live stream. We are doing Am I the A-hole today, a little different, but welcome in. I think we're having a little bit of fun, right? Are we having fun or no? Okay. If you guys have not already, go ahead and hit the like button. It does help us out in the algorithm. It helps us get more friends and maybe even notify some of our friends that are missing in action today. So if you can, please do hit the like button. Deacon Fatal says, isn't that up to the court? As far as the calendar, I don't know what case we're on. I don't know what case we're on anymore. Deacon Fatal says, see, this is way too messy for me. That's what I deal with on a daily basis. Deacon Fatal says, breath stands. Isn't this up to the court? As far as the calendar, not really. They don't have a custody agreement in place or a court order, so they can kind of wing it, do whatever the heck they want. No one's wrong, no one's right. Even if she did take the vacations, he couldn't do anything about it because they don't have a custody agreement. He's not the boss. Deacon Fatal says that is so manipulative, to add it or to remove her access. Which one? That is what it sounds like, and not yet. Jane Sutter says if he can't make the calendar read only, then not the a-hole. Yeah. That's what I would think, that he would just do a read only. Yeah, remove her access to add things to the calendar. Z Seltzer says, not the a-hole. She is getting emails and there's a record of that. Yeah, exactly. She can make her own calendar. But like I said, she can keep the kid if she wants to. It doesn't sound like there's any custody arrangement in place. Summer Butterfly says, not the a-hole from removing her. Oh, yeah, I would be more agreeable. I am, like I said, I'm in the kind of range because he could have did something else. But like some of you are probably thinking, it's not his responsibility to make sure she can keep up with the appointments as long as he is notifying her. Nissa says there are parent apps that can help with this. Yes, that's true. But I think on the parent app, both people can edit it. I don't know if you can remove the other person's ability to edit it. I'm assuming they're using something like Google Calendar or something. Archangel says, hiya, Deacon. Just been listening in as I give my pups a bath. Oh, sounds fun. I wish I had a doggy, but I don't. I wouldn't want to do the bath time, though. Barry Malaka says, I'm confused on this one. So on this one, they have a parenting calendar. He adds all the appointments on the calendar. The mom started adding extra visitation time for herself on the calendar. He got mad, deleted all of her extra visits, and then kicked her off the calendar so that she couldn't see it anymore. Sounds very petty. Sounds like high schoolers, right? But these are grown adults with a child that they have to raise together. Deacon Beto says to me, how many of these parents are getting themselves into kidnapping charges? Not a lot. There are some. There are for sure some. If you have filed an action against the other parent, then you could be liable for kidnapping if you like take them out of the state. But if you don't have any custody orders and you just file a divorce or a parenting plan, and you keep the kid and you're on the birth certificate, well, for men it's a little harder. It's more the mom can just keep the kid, but if it's a divorce, either parent can keep the kid. She can decide, hey, I'm going on my vacation anyways. And as long as she doesn't leave the state, and I don't know what state they're in, but in California, as long as she doesn't leave the state, she can do that. And he doesn't have any say over it until they get a court order or an agreement put into a stipulation and put it as a court order. So there's that. But I do know a couple of people that have kidnapped their kids by taking them out of the state. Deacon says, same. This is confusing. It's so weird. Yeah, it's very, very petty and messy, like you said. Mary Malaki says, we need to know who the primary parent makes all the difference. Exactly. Knowing to me, it sounds like he's the primary parent, to tell you the truth. If he's the one putting the things on the calendar, he's setting up appointments, he sounds like the primary parent to me. The second, I don't know if you call him a secondary parent, but the non-custodial parent they don't normally do those things. So I'm thinking he's more of the parent figure to the child than she is. And she's probably more of a weekend mom. And that's why she might be trying to increase her time so that she's not a weekend mom. But until they get a custody agreement in place, they can both do what they want. If they were married, as far as California goes, either one of them can take the kids and keep them. And there's really nothing you could do about it until you get a court order. So yes, it sounds like that to me. A hot mess. Yes, a complete hot mess. Complete hot mess. Okay, so that was that story. I'll probably let a couple more chats roll in if you guys have anything to say about that. I am going to go ahead and go to, this one is a good one. I might want to go through the comments on this one. This was only 12 days ago. This one was a really good one. I think y'all are going to like the one that's coming up. So let's go ahead and change our ticker. Guys, if you have not already, please do hit the like button. It definitely helps us out in the algorithm, and it makes me feel a little happy, long day working, come back and we get some likes on the YouTube. So am I the a-hole? Just giving you guys a preview for refusing to talk to my wife about her contributing to child support for my sons. Okay, I'm going to give a brief background on this one so that because it might be a little confusing just going through the reading, because I'll be getting lost myself because I'm always making side comments. Okay, so this one says, am I the a-hole for refusing to talk to my wife about contributing to child support for my sons? He's basically asking, is he the a-hole for not making his new wife pay child support to his old wife for the kids that he had with the old wife? So these kids are not the new wife's kids, but the old wife wants the new stepmommy's money, okay? Let's go ahead and check it out for the Reddit. Share the screen. Okay. Am I the a-hole for refusing to talk to my wife about her contributing child support for my sons? Remember, these are not her kids. This is his kid with the other wife, his first wife. My wife makes a lot more money than me. I also have a lot of debt and have to pay a lot of child support. Given that, she wanted to protect herself financially, so we got a prenup and keep all of our finances separate. If you're going to marry a man that's paying child support, this is a smart move. I don't mind that at all. I've made some bad financial choices in my life, and I'm just happy she wants to be with me. Oh, how sweet. He loves his new wife. My ex, who I share 2 boys with, is not happy about the situation. She thinks that since my wife acts like a parent to the boys when they are with us, that she should also be contributing to child support. My wife is admittedly very involved with the boys and they are close. My ex-wife's reasoning was that there is such a big difference in the standard of living in our homes. That is why that it was making the boys not as happy when they are with her. Not the new wife's fault. I don't think it's my wife's responsibility. I think it's nice enough that she offers to pay for the boys to do fun activities when they're here with us and get them gifts they appreciate. So, is he the a-hole for not making his new wife pay child support for his boys with his old wife? Now, in this post, he says that he already pays a lot of child support. So, how much more does she want? Like, what does she want is my question. I'm going to go ahead and try to go into the chat. I'll see if I'm trying to make sure that I am on the right chats because I know sometimes the stream is delayed because we have the closed captioning for everybody. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Summer Butterfly says like and share. Thank you so much for the support, sharing the channel. Hope to get more new friends from that. Thank you. Deacon Fedor says to me, there is a lot of soap opera shows with Barbie dolls about custody, and it's so much. Is there? With Barbie dolls on YouTube? Mary Malarkey says, wait, in Cali, you can keep the child past their scheduled visit time and not get in trouble. No. If you don't have a court order and you just file a divorce and there's no custody order for the kids, then you don't have to give, it's not nice, but you don't have to give the other parent the kid. You can keep the kid until there is a court order in place. So you want to get a court order as soon as possible. If you're just a married couple that's divorcing and someone keeps the child longer than your agreed timeshare, and you call the police and say, hey, she has to give the kid back, they'll go, well, where is your court order? And you'd be like, I don't have one. And then she's like, well, it's her kid. She doesn't have to give the kid back. Same way if it was the dad. Well, it's his kid. He was born during the marriage. He doesn't have to give the kid back. You should go get custody orders. So don't think when you get a divorce in California, at least, I don't know about other states, when you get a divorce, each parent, it's their kid. So each parent has the right to keep the kid for as long as they want until there's a custody order establishing what the timeshare is. If you guys just agree to a timeshare without the court stamp on it, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You cannot enforce that agreement until it is a court order. Middletown. Deacon Fettle says, and this is another reason why I have no interest in getting married. It just gets so petty when you're breaking up. Because what the F? I am with you right there. I'm married now. So yeah, it's a thing. I'm not fighting. I'm telling you guys, I'm not fighting over stuff. Like, you want to keep these kids, go right ahead. I may be saying that because I'm not a mom yet, but I'm not fighting you. Just take it. I'm not dealing with it. Miss Mary Malaki says, why does the new wife have to pay? No way, Jose. Keep the money separate forever. She doesn't have to pay, and she's very smart for getting even without the prenup, she wouldn't have to pay. It's not her responsibility. The only way that the wife would be responsible to pay is if he stopped paying his child support and they're still living the high life, and basically he's not working, pretending that he can't work, but it's really because the wife is making money, but the dad is pretending not to work, and basically the wife is encouraging it, like maybe she's giving him an allowance or something of that nature. Then you can argue that the new spouse should have to pay. But if there's no like deception going on, they're not like hiding money under her, saying that his paycheck is actually her paycheck, then there's no reason she will not have to pay his child support. I'm not the a-hole, not the a-hole. Deacon Fatal says, okay, in the state of Alabama, if he falters on the child support, would it fall on me? What do you mean by that? Like if he doesn't pay child support, like if you're married to someone and he doesn't pay the child support, will it fall on you? I don't know about Alabama because I'm only licensed in California, But that's kind of what I was explaining. If he's not paying and it's of deception, like he's not paying, he's just depositing like his paycheck into her bank account, or he stops working and then she gets a raise of some sort, and it's some type of deception going on, then you can argue that the other or the new wife should be responsible for making the payments. But that's only if deception is going on. If he works at McDonald's and she's the CEO of the top company in the country and she's making $1 million a year, you don't get to go after her because you had a baby with a broke man. Not for lack of a better words, you don't get to go after their new spouse just because they marry up financially. No, you don't get their money. If he doesn't pay his child support, he will be liable. And if you're filing jointly with him, then they can take your tax money. But other than that, no, they can't go after you unless you're doing something deceptive. Not the a-hole, not the a-hole. The ex is jealous and an a-hole. She got to level her life up. Like, you cannot hate on the new wife because she has a better job. I don't know what to tell you. Not the a-hole, says Deacon Fatal. Melatown is the soap opera with the Barbie dolls. Is it online or is that like a TV show? Deacon Fatal says it would in Alabama, and it's called Bellatown for the Barbie soap opera. Well, this is a soap opera. Let me see if there's any comments that are of interest to me and see if you guys. Yeah, these comments are gonna be good. Okay, let's go into it. This commenter says your ex is delusional. Child support isn't your wife's responsibility. Future Win says delusional is the correct word. Yeah, so I'm thinking people are thinking he's not the a-hole. Says, and not very observant either. What a myriad of wonderful opportunities for them all to appreciate what they do have and to prioritize loving, functional, honest values over quick fixes and easy outs. The kids get to experience two surface level differences in lifestyle. And so long as there's shared a ribbon of love and communication held at one end by mom and the other end by OP and stepmom, there could be every chance for these kids growing up to be accountable, perspective having, well-balanced, and adaptable adults. Yeah, so the kids, they probably shouldn't be making this into a big of a deal. The mom should not be making it into a big of a deal as she is, because the kids are benefiting from this. They get a good life when they're at dad's house. I don't know. Well, I do know. He's not the a-hole here. He's not the a-hole. Old mom, I'm calling her old mom. Bio mom is tripping. For lack of a better word, she is tripping. The Barbie doll show is on YouTube. Mary Malika says, okay, so how can they own properties like a house together? Yeah, so as far as owning your house, that doesn't have to do anything with your child support. I mean, I guess they could put a lien on your house and that would come out of his, if he has any separate property interest, or if it's taken out, then, okay, so technically from law school learnings, I haven't had to do this in court yet, but technically, if you're married to someone that owes child support, and he's paying child support out of his community property check, so his married check, which as soon as you get married in California, everything is community property. If he's paying child support, the community can actually ask for reimbursement for that child support. So if he's paying $1,000 per month and you was married for a year, you could basically ask for $500 a month to be returned to you for him paying child support outside of the marriage, because he's using money that should be benefiting the community to take care of kids that are not yours. So technically, yeah, he's not really tied to you. They wouldn't take your house. Like I said, they could do like a lien on your house because I've never seen it happen, but I'm sure they could do a lien on your property to get your tax or to get the money for the child support. Never seen DCSS go that far, But if they do and you get a divorce from him, you would be entitled to ask for that money back. I don't think it would be a good idea to sue him in like civil court if you're not getting a divorce to ask for the money back, because it's probably going to lead to a divorce. But technically, you are not responsible for paying that person's child support. So even that prenup, it was beneficial for her because he's not taking money out of their joint bank account to spend it on the children, but it's also beneficial to him because she can't make like a community property claim to the child support payments, so she would get reimbursed for half if they got a divorce. So the prenup was smart for both of them. Let's see. Z Celsius says, I read this post. The mom is initialed. The mom is initialed. I don't know, which is probably why he left her. Entitled, probably. I think there was some typos. Probably she's entitled. I'm going to go with entitled. And she is entitled. How are you going to ask for another lady's money to pay for your kids and she pays for them when they're at her house? Like, you should be appreciating that she's taking care of your kid. MG Mustang 05 says, who's teaching them to wipe their own A? Can they wash a dish, run a washer, dryer? Can they make a sandwich? The high life livers fall the hardest. They didn't give us detail about that, like if they're not doing chores or anything at the dad's house, but it's more about her not paying child support. Mom, bio mom is tripping. That's all I can say. Not legalese. Do not use that in court. Mary Malarkey says, exactly. Can't they take the house if he fails to pay? I think that they can put a lien on it, but fully take the house, I don't think so. Deacon Fiddle says initiated. Oh, she started it. Oh, sorry. Okay. So the mom initiated it, which is probably why she left. Yeah, she started it. Started what? Okay. Hello Swing says entitled is a great adjective for her. Yes, I'm going with entitled. That's what I'm going to go with. Very, very entitled. How are you going to ask for another lady's money just because she married your ex? That she picked your ex up? No, I don't think so. Deacon Feda says, okay, I'm looking more at what these stories are leaving out. What are you checking out? You going deeper into the story than me. Z Celsius says he should just tell the mom to try and take him to court if she thinks this is right. And she may take him to court, and the child support may be less than what she's getting right now from him. But they're not going to take the stepmom's money into account. Why they would take stepmom money into account is if the old wife was paying him spousal support. And so they would say, well, his wife is making $1 million a year. He doesn't need the spousal support anymore because he has a wife now who's making $1 million a year. But it will not affect child support if they're not doing anything deceptive. Okay, let's go on to see. Okay, this one is a good one. I think this is I think I got 2 more, and then we will be ending the stream. Yeah, I feel like I haven't streamed in so long that every time I get to like an hour of streaming, my voice is going out, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Okay. Let's see. Let's fix our ticker. If you guys have not already, please do hit the like button. Also, let me know if you guys like this format. Do you guys like reading these stories, or would you prefer to only cover cases from online? Am I the a-hole for leaving the country to avoid paying child support? Go ahead and give me your first thoughts on that. This initially sounds like a dick move. It is, am I the a-hole for leaving the country to avoid paying child support? What do you think? Am I the a-hole for leaving the country to avoid paying child support? Let's go ahead and check it out. Let me see if I missed any comments from the other story, and then we'll go ahead and jump into it. Mary Malaki says, these poor kitties, you don't want entitled parents. Dicky Vettel says, cause if you think anyone can Because if you think anyone will not omit something on Reddit, I have a bridge to sell you in my backyard. Yeah, I'm sure they're not giving us everything. I'm sure they're not giving us everything with what's going on. Okay, we got a couple of yeses on the new story that's coming up. Am I the a-hole for leaving the country to avoid paying child support? It sounds wild. We'll get into it. Deacon Federal says, I mean, I watched Barbie dolls fighting over custody, so I'm okay with this. Okay, we're getting back into another child support story. Let's see what these people got going on. I have been with my girlfriend for a year at the time. We were both 22 and just out of university getting started on our careers. One night she tells me that she missed her period. We got a test and it turned up positive. Mind you, I was a bit surprised because I always use protection and she told me she was on birth control. Did you see her take birth control? I don't know. We have discussed this prior and had decided to hold off on having kids at least until 5 years later when we were both set, so I was sure we'd safely abort. I thought I'd just be there to comfort her and give her time to process what's happening. 3 weeks later, she tells me she wants to keep it. I kept pleading with her, telling her I'm not ready and we're not going to be okay financially, but she insists that this is what she wants and that we'll be happy. I firmly told her I was not on board, and she responded saying it was her sole decision and she made up her mind. So she's making the choice for herself. We decided to take a break from each other because of the constant fighting and eventually decided to part ways. This person writes so out of tense. I speak with my parents about this, and while I was initially planning to stay back and help raise the kid, they convinced me that it's best if I leave the country. These are A+ parents. My father was a dual citizen of both the US and another country, which I also inherited. We spoke to multiple lawyers and knew that I would be untouchable by US courts, and there weren't any enforceable child support treaties with that country. Last I heard, she had a successful pregnancy and was reaching out to all our mutual contacts to try to reach me. I only disclosed this to a few close friends who thankfully did not share anything with her. I do sometimes wonder what it would have been like to raise the child, and I wish her well. But not having any say in the final decision and being forced into it still gives me nightmares. I know this is a tough topic to talk about. I know there is a lot of my body, my choice. I know there is a lot of she knew he did not want to have a kid. I know there's a lot of if you don't want to have kids, don't do the do. You got to keep control of your, men have to keep control of their genetic material if they don't want to have a baby. And the only way to really do that is to not engage in sexual conduct. And my nurse husband will tell you it's natural for people of certain ages to want to engage in sex. So that's impossible to do if you are of a certain age. But hey, you got to protect your genetic material. The issue that I have with this case is he tried to protect his genetic material. He said he used protection, and apparently she was on birth control. And I just find it hard to believe that both of those methods fell together. What do you guys think? I find it hard to believe that those fell together. Maybe if she was just on birth control and they weren't using anything else, sure, that fails all the time, right? Or if he's using a condom and they're not using anything else, sure, that fails all the time. But her birth control and the condom not working all at once, I don't know if I buy that. Let me know what you guys think, but I do not buy that. It sounds like a trap to me. That's what I'm sticking with. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. If you're watching on the replay, go ahead and drop it in the comment section what you think. Does it sound like a trap to you? Does it sound like it was an accident and he should man up and take care of the kids? What are you or the kid? What are you thinking? My boy left the country. Okay. Hello, Swanky says, my stepdad's ex-wife intentionally stayed single, unmarried to her new partner to keep receiving spousal support from him until he retired. People do be deceived now. Yes, that is true. Exactly. If you remarry, you end that spousal support. So yes, that is true. And I mean, if you don't want to work, it works. But now in California, maybe your dad didn't know this. I know Hella Swanky is in California. I don't know if your dad is, but in California, the judges are not really liking that whole pay her life for the rest of her life situation for spousal support. It's supposed to not have a termination date, but more courts are leaning towards it being half the length of the marriage for you to be able to get up on your feet and start supporting yourself. You can't be married to someone for 10 years and then pay them spousal support for the rest of their life. Like, no, you need to go get a job. Like, getting married is not just like a retirement plan. That is not how the court should work. Z Celtic says, yes, but I really want to hear this new one. Yes. Okay. Deacon Fatal says, what? This Howard says, having a kid does make you happy. I'm sure it does. I feel like it makes a lot of people happy. I don't have one, so I don't know. But kids they're cute. Babies are cute, right? Deacon Fatal says they really are, and he left that part out. Hella Swanky says, yeah, now we understand why OP is the way he is. Are we talking about this? I don't know what kids we're talking about. If you want the kid, keep it. The baby will make him happy, so he should stay. Okay, I was completely lost on the comments. Mary Malarkey says, Bree's stories tonight are going to keep Deacon Fatal single forever. The segment should be what not to do when dating Deacon Fatal. Don't have kids. Number 1, don't make less money than her. Not paying spousal support. Deacon Fatal says, at Mary Malarkey, I'm okay with it. Stay single forever. Based on these stories, right? Oh, come to work with me. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Jane Stutter says, I'm sorry I missed the part where she actually tried to go after him for child support. In this case or in the one before it? The one before it, they already had child support orders in place. And this one, she doesn't even know where he is, so she can't even file child support papers to go after him. He didn't want to have a kid at all. So I don't know if it was completely about avoiding child support or just like living a normal 22-year-old life, because he was not planning on having a baby, and it's the contraceptives failed, allegedly. I think she did something to it. Jane Soder says nothing is 100%. I absolutely agree with that, but both at the same time, failing. I mean, weird things happen, but that one, it just sounds sketchy to me. Z Seltzer says this sounds toxic. It does to me too. Deacon Fatal says, I think I will not be dating until I'm 16. I mean, that would avoid a lot of things that could happen. Yeah. But it doesn't mean it will be perfect then either. Deacon Fatal says, that's what I think. Stay single till 60. That's wild. Summer Butterfly says, sounds like there was tampering done to his protection. Sounds like it to me. It sounds like she wasn't using birth control either. Hella Swing, and to be so excited and say, no, this is what I want. And him saying, this is not what I wanted. We talked about this. What are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know. I think she did something. Hella Swanky says, it's not impossible to abstain to avoid pregnancy. I do it because I have too many examples in my personal life of birth control failing to take chances. That is absolutely true. You cannot control whether your birth control is going to work. Some people like some non-conventional birth controls, like pulling out, and that doesn't work all the time. So definitely understand you for that. And that's always my argument. If you don't want to have a kid, then don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. There are ways to prevent it and still be able to do it, but it's never a guarantee, right? Agreeing with Summer Butterfly. As far as the tampering goes, this is how it says, I mean, does not. I forgot what you said earlier. Only you can make you happy. Oh, a baby does not make you happy. Okay. Well, in this case, it seems like she thought the baby would make them happier together. Hello Swanky says, yeah, we NCA, but the divorce judgment was like 35 years ago. Yeah, now they are like, we're not doing that anymore. He recently retired and intentionally didn't tell her and my stepsister, so his ex just stopped getting checks one day and was pissed. That's pretty good. And if it was retirement, yeah, she probably won't get much of his retirement if they divorced 35 years ago. So he should be good. Amber Pepper says, either way, it's his kid that he abandoned, so he's the a-hole in my opinion. Yes, that part of it is the a-hole, to just up and leave your kid. But I definitely understand thinking you had a plan together and someone kind of like backtracking on your plan. Deacon Federal says, to me, we have to talk about apportionment decisions and how the VA is used to get around the state courts one day. That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't like VA stuff. I hate VA stuff. I hate it. Deacon Federal says, how about you stop messing with my dream of menopause? I kid, but now I'm serious. Hey, Naomi Campbell just had a baby at 53. So, I mean, hey, I don't know. It may not absolve you all the way. Hello Swanky says, my godson was conceived despite IUD. I think that's what it's called. It def happens, but I don't know her, so I'm not saying she didn't try to trap it. Yeah, and it could definitely be, but both of them breaking at the same time, that's just not convincing me. I don't even know. I don't know. And I just can't get behind that. Maybe if it was one like he was only using, the condom, then I would be like, sure, that can happen. Or if she was only using the birth control, I can be like, sure, that can happen. But both at the same time, I know it can happen, but I don't know. It's just not sitting right with me. Amber Pepper says, could you sign a contract prior to doing the deed to absolve you if there's an accidental pregnancy? I haven't seen that done. I'm sure you can sign a contract. The question would be whether it would be enforceable. I know you can file things to terminate your rights and then you don't have to pay child support. So I'm sure if you sign that contract and you bring it to the court and say, hey, we promised that we wouldn't be doing this, and she promised that she would financially take care of the child, but without giving up the rights and without the state agreeing to allow you to give up your rights, then your contract will be void. I haven't seen it done, so I can't really give you a straight answer on that, honestly. But of course you can sign a contract. The question would be, is it enforceable to sign away your rights like that? For divorce purposes, you cannot sign away the right to child support because it's the child that is entitled to the child support. So I'm going to say the contract probably would not be enforceable. Best case scenario for you would be to avoid, not best case scenario, but for lack of many options to get away from taking care of your kid, just not be there for the kid. The mother finds a new love, or the other parent finds a new love. They marry them, and that person wants to adopt the kid, and then they file a motion against you to terminate your parental rights. But most people are not going to do that because they still want your child support from you, even if they're only getting it from taxes. So I would say that contract probably won't be enforceable because you can't put child support payments into a prenup. So I would assume you can't put it into you can't put it and sign away your parental rights in a contract before a baby is born. That's just my thoughts. Hello Swanky says, oh yeah, and the brat had a baby at 51 too. Oh, these people are out here are wilding. Deacon Beto says, I'm not poor compared to Nanimo, and I don't know how many times I have to say I'm too broke to worry about rich people problems. Naomi Campbell. That's what I think that you meant. That's probably true. When I saw that, I was like, okay, Janet Jackson did it. Ella Swanky saying the brat did it. And now Naomi Campbell doing it. I'm like, these are rich people things. Are regular people doing that? Like, I feel like you got to have money to be able to do that. Because how is your womb still working at that time? I Oh, they be telling you that you're broken at 35. Like, what? Hella Swanky says maybe he's lying. Maybe he didn't use a condom every time, but like someone said, did she even ask him for anything? It doesn't sound like she asked him for anything. It just sounds like she said, we'll be happy, a happy family. So if you're assuming you're going to be a happy family, I think you're assuming you're going to get something like him taking care of you. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. This is Reddit. People do omit facts, and we have no way of fact checking things. We're just here gossiping on the internet per usual. Jazzy G says, hi, everyone, just tuning in. Hello, welcome into the live stream. Nice to have you here. We are talking Reddit stories, crazy Reddit stories. We got one more to go. Hello, Swinky says, I've heard it wouldn't be enforceable, but I don't know the legal reasons. I would think it wouldn't be enforceable. I haven't researched this or anything, but it's because the child support right, the right to be financially cared for, is of the child. So the mother or the father cannot sign that right away. If she agrees to give up your parental rights and says she can financially pay for the child and she makes a good amount of money and the court deems that it's necessary to terminate the parental rights, or if he's not paying child support to begin with and they find it necessary to terminate the parental rights, then they can do that. But until then, you're liable for that child support if your DNA is in there. Even if you don't want the kid, the mom can come after you, do a DNA test, and you still got to pay. Which it sucks. It sucks because ultimately the mom does get to make the decision of if she keeps it or not. And I don't think a financial trade versus the mom's health is an equal exchange. So it's a tough situation, especially when someone is clear that they don't want to have a baby. But like I said, all you can do is protect your genetic material and not give it to people. And I feel like, sorry, men, if there's any men in the chat, but you lose your say at the moment you release your genetic material. At that point, it's the woman's genetic material mixed with yours, but it's in her body. So, I mean, vasectomies are a thing. So those don't always work either. Deacon Beto says, we got there. Teleswinky says, non-celebs are doing it, but you're right about it costing a crap ton of money. Yeah, I feel like it would be very hard to do that naturally. Yes. Deacon Fatal said another one. Yes, I got one more. I know I'm stressing you out, Deacon Fatal. I know I'm stressing you out. Harper Polo, hello. Welcome into the live stream. Nice to see you again. Deacon Fatal says, so in my classes right now, we aren't covering anything like this. Yeah, I thought you were in criminal justice. I mean, I guess it will still include the law, right? Harper Polo says, have you and will you talk about Jonathan Majors? I have not. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. So I have not talked about it. Probably will not talk about it unless it's something that falls under the category of this channel, which I don't know because I really don't know what that is off the top of my head. Jane Stoddard says, also dependent on the state, termination may not be available. Yeah, that is a very real thing. Did not think about that. That is a very real thing. They got rid of a lot of termination rights just recently. So, yeah, there's that as well. Deacon Fatal says, you really are. You really are what? Me? I don't know. There's a delay on the live stream. So sometimes I don't know what you guys are talking about because my brain has already moved on like 3 minutes and then I finally get the chat in. So I'm sorry if I completely forgot, but to you it's in real time. Let me see. Child support. Which one did I want to cover? There's one more. Okay, this one is a good one. I did this one today on TikTok, so this one is I think this one is a good one. Guys, if you have not already, please do hit the like button. It helps me out in the algorithm, and I think we are having fun. So yeah. Oh, I have never changed the ticker from like 3 stories ago, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete that, and we're done with the tickers because I did not keep up with them. Okay. Here is another child support one. I know these ones can get the blood hot, but let's one more, and then I'll turn it off. Am I the a-hole for not paying any child support? No child support, okay? My ex-girlfriend, Claire, and guys, I'm just going to forewarn you. I think everything is a setup at this point already. So this one also sounds like a setup to me. So yeah, let's go. My ex-girlfriend, Claire, 35 female, got pregnant while we were dating. Although she told me that she just wanted to be friends, I was ready to be a father. So this one is not leaving the country. He wants to be the father. However, she met someone else, Becca, who didn't want me around. So they asked me to cancel my paternal rights, kind of like what we were just talking about. At the time, I was torn because I wanted to be there for my child, but I also felt that if they didn't want me around, it was best to waive my rights. After fighting for a while, I eventually gave up because it was clear that they didn't want me to be there. Fast forward 13 years later, Claire and Becca, 13 years later, let me highlight that. Claire and Becca are going through some stuff and they want me to pay child support. He terminated his parental rights. However, the court had already ruled that since I waived my paternal rights, I am not legally obliged to pay the child support. Despite this, Clara is calling me a bastard and a deadbeat, and she's even calling my family and getting them involved. While I understand her frustration, I don't think it's appropriate for her to be involving my family in this matter. What do you guys think? So he got a girl pregnant. She said she just wanted to be friends. The baby's born. She finds a girlfriend and they want him to terminate his parenting rights. So he does. And now 13 years later, they need some financial help. So they're asking him for child support. Mind you, he has not had a relationship with his child in 13 years. I'm going to assume that the parental right termination happened a little earlier on in his life. So let's assume it happened when he was 1 year old. So now the kid is about 14 years old or older. And they want him to pay child support. Absolutely not. Now, I might say you're the a-hole for terminating your rights because you didn't have to terminate your rights just because they didn't want you in the baby's life. As long as you're not doing something bad, you can have custody of the child. You might have to deal with an annoying ex-girlfriend, but you can still have custody of the child. And yes, you may have to pay child support. So I would say that you're kind of an a-hole for terminating your rights just because they were bullying you. You're an adult. And she's 35, so I'm going to assume he's somewhere in that age range as well. Sure, he could be younger. Sure, he could be older. But I'm just going to assume he's around 35 as well. So you let someone bully you out of being there for your child. I would say that part is the a-hole. But the fact that you terminated your parenting rights and you're not paying child support, absolutely not the a-hole for that. That's my opinion on it. Absolutely not the a-hole for not paying child support for a kid that you gave up the rights to. What do you guys think in the comments? I'm going to go ahead and jump in there. That is my opinion. Some of these chats might be from our previous stories, but that's okay. Let's see. Swanky says, yep, even more reason to protect your genetic material. Abortion isn't even a guaranteed option anymore. Yeah, exactly. And even in the states where it is available, you got a certain amount of time. This is how it says for Jonathan Majors. Look into Legal Bites. Everything always a geek channel. The Cosmic World, another geek channel. Okay, I'll check it out, but I don't. It's not ringing a bell off the top of my head. But if it's something that is interesting to this channel, let me know. For other people that know about the case, let me know if you want to cover it, and then I'll take a look into it and see what it's about. Deacon Fiddle says, I'm having fun. I feel like you're more being stressed out than having fun. But at least this story kind of took it off of you a little bit. Hello, Swanky, reminding us how to become a member of the channel. I know we missed our members live stream this month. It was a hectic month, but it will be back in July. So if you want to join live with me, what is going on? If you want to join live with me next month on the members live stream, do become a member and you can join us and talk about maybe some stories like this, maybe some cases. I don't know. What should the format be for July? We'll figure it out as we go. Zelsa says, we forget how dangerous pregnancy is. Yes, that's a thing too. Like, it's not all happy rainbows and sunshines and the most I guess it may be the most wonderful thing once you get the baby out, but it's not a fun experience from what I hear. Deacon Fatal says, That being said, I don't have kids. I just used to deal with arrest. I think that's what you meant. Not the a-hole. The ex can't have it both ways. Yeah, you can't say terminate your rights, but give me money. Have Becca pay for the baby. I wonder if Becca even actually adopted the kid. Jazzy G says, not the a-hole, but feel bad for the child. I do feel bad for the child as far as why did you give up your rights to him? But I also, being a family law attorney, I know how expensive and time consuming and exhausting it could be to be in court every other month, every 2 months, dealing with custody issues. When you have other stuff going on in your lives, I don't think you should give up your kid because of it. But I do understand how expensive it can be. And even if you don't hire an attorney, how draining it could be. And at this point, the kid is like 14 or older, I'm going to assume, because it's 13 years later and you can't terminate parental rights that quickly. I'm going to assume he's like 14. Just wait till he's an adult and have a relationship with him and don't pay child support to the mom that made you give up your parental or that convinced you to give up the parental rights. Amber Pepper says, still kind of the a-hole, but only for terminating the rights to begin with. I agree. That's my take on it as well. Not paying the child support, I don't think he's the a-hole because he doesn't have any obligation to do that. And the son has two parents, Becca and Claire, right? Deacon Fatal says, oh, whoever the person that made the Bella Town saga was on point with the Barbie dolls. There was a story like this. Amber Pepper says, yeah, I 100% agree with that position. Yes. Jazzy G says, yeah, true, gave up on your child. Yeah, and it sounds like he gave up pretty quickly. And like you guys said earlier, sometimes they leave out details. Like he's like, I wanted to be a father, but she said terminate the parental rights. And I was like, all right, that's fine. I'll do it. So it could be that they're leaving out some of the details in this one as well. Maybe he wasn't as involved, Z Seltzer says, if he feels the need to help his kid, he could make it into a contract into HW. I don't know what that would stand for. To maybe spend time with the kid now and have his rights reinstated. I think that's difficult too because the child is like at least 14 years old. He's already got his own opinion. And then he may be like, well, why did you leave me? Why would you give up your rights? I don't know if I would be as willing to do that. But it's possible. It's possible that the kid will be happy. But I think that a lot of things will come into play if they do something like that. Deacon Fatal says, I think when someone doesn't want to have a kid, they aren't going to have a kid. That is very, very true because there are plenty of people my age that say they do not want to have a kid and they do not want to have a kid. So you got to be doing something appropriate. You got to be doing something right to be in that position to not have a kid. So I agree with you there. Deacon Fatal says postpartum depression is a thing. It is for sure a thing. Deacon Fatal says, okay, from what I'm getting, you have to parent 100% of the time. For which part of it? Once you have a kid, yeah, you're a parent for the rest of your life. Like even when you're 94, you're still going to be parenting your 50-year-old kids or 60-year-old kids, whatever age you have them. Deacon Fatal says most people are not equipped to participate as parents 100% of the time. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. I definitely agree with that. It's unfortunate, but true. Definitely agree with that. These were some interesting stories. Like I said, I've covered them on my TikTok. That has been another little pastime of mine that I'm doing because I spend a lot of time watching TikTok. So, hey, why not record some TikToks and have some of my own? So this is what I do on my pastime. So welcome into Bree Hive's personal life. I hope that you guys enjoyed the stories. I definitely enjoyed all the comments that came in on the live stream. Definitely appreciate all the participation there. Next week, Tuesday, is the 4th of July, so I will not be streaming on Tuesday, but I will try to get back onto the live stream on Thursday. We will see how the week goes, what kind of cases come up, and what we should be covering on Thursday. If I'm not going to stream on Thursday, of course, I will let you guys know. Again, if you have not hit the like button, we are at the end of the stream. So if you made it this far and you haven't hit the like button, just hit it. Like, you made it this far. But thank you everyone that has come to participate in live stream. Thank you for everyone that is watching on the replay and that has made it this far. Definitely enjoyed the interaction here on the live. So I hope to see the people on the replay on the live next time we do something like this. Let me know if you guys like this format, because we can do it, switch off on cases and then things like this every other day, or however, or every other stream, or however you guys want to do it. I do this for fun, and I do this to, interact with you guys. So definitely feel free to let me know what you thought about this segment, and we'll try it again. But I hope everyone has a lovely, lovely holiday weekend, and hopefully I will see you next Thursday, and have a good evening. Thank you.